who is the new King of the Hill even for? I'm not sure who the intended audience is for this reboot of King of the Hill. It's a strange concept to have of rebooting a show that's so like set and like the characters like are almost a personification of the late 90s and the early 2000s. Like it's difficult to uh, conceive even transplanting that piece of television and putting it in today's world. And I don't think it'll work well. Because I think that is what they're trying to do. They're not setting it up where Hank Hill is still the same. It's Hank Hill older, and now he's in the new world. Not the new world, but the current world with Ubers and uh, Bobby liking craft beers and things like that. Um, so I'm not sure like how that really helps gain an audience for King of the Hill, because I mean you're already starting out with I mean the target audience has to be people that were fans of King of the Hill, but then you're already kind of drastically changing what King of the Hill is to some degree. I mean Hank Hill is not going to be selling propane. At least that's not what it sounds like. It appears that Hank Hill is retired and he is now dealing with this later stage of his life rather than selling propane. And I think that's a little bit of a problem for the show at the start. I mean, if you're if you want a show about retirement, I don't think Hank Hill's the guy to be the guy in retirement. But we'll see. Again, the show doesn't come out until August 4th, so I mean, it's plenty a couple month and a half until this show comes out. And but from the two 1 minute segments of the show, I'm not sure like what the goal is of the show, because the animation is not like it's not really a resemblance to the original King of the Hill, but it's not really better. I don't like the animation doesn't look better. They're using some like puppeteering or something than rather than frame by frame animation, which do your own thing, whatever floats your boat over at Hulu. But the animation is not there. The Hank Hill voice, which I think you kind of gotta have for a King of the Hill reboot, the Hank Hill voice isn't really there. It doesn't really sound like Hank Hill. It's a very poor impression. It's like Bobby, pass me the ball. I don't think that was real good, but that's probably about the same level of what the show is like putting out there. Which, do your own thing, Hulu. Again, but it's just, who is this meant for? It seems like it's just going to tarnish the legacy of King of the Hill and Hank Hill and Peggy Hill and Bobby Hill. Um, I just don't see how this show can be successful. Because I mean, you need the audience that is fan of Hank Hill, fan of King of the Hill, that watched it when it was on Cartoon Network after dark, or Adult Swim back in the early 2000s, like 90s. So I'm not sure. Like, so you need those guys, and then I guess you also want the people that are too young for King of the Hill to be airing. So when Cartoon Network After Dark showed up, they went to bed. Those guys went to bed. So now they're old enough to, I guess, watch King of the Hill. So you need those guys now, and then also just people that were not really fans of King of the Hill, or knew about King of the Hill, weren't tapped into the Adult Swim network of shows that are now seeing this on Hulu, and you need some of them as well, I think, for this show to be successful, which I just don't think is going to be the case. I think we're going to have a very tragic uh, box rating for this show. And even the plot doesn't seem real. Like for the 1 minute segments, they don't feel real nice, because King of the Hill was kind of it was made like almost as a, I don't even know, like it's like it was a timestamp of the late 90s, early 2000s, and it's just the you can't do, like, you can't just take these characters that are like so ingrained, and they're characters, they're fictional characters. You take these you know like heavily warped and funneled ideas that were around in the 90s and early 2000s, and then you leave them for 20 years, and then start back up, and now these characters are going to have probably totally different uh, mindsets that weren't necessarily shown. So it's got to be confusing that Hank Hill isn't Hank Hill anymore. He's Hank Hill in 20 years. Bobby isn't Bobby. He's not in grade school anymore. He's grown up. So it just doesn't feel like it's going to be a successful show, and I'm worried. Like I just, first of all, I don't know who it's made for. One, I don't know who is clamoring for the new King of the Hill show. I don't know why the people made it. I'm not sure. Like, even if there were people that were just like, we need new King of the Hill, I'm not sure why Hulu and whoever's behind it was like, well, your wishes are demand. Did I say that right? Your wishes are demand. I'm not saying that right. Your wish is our. What's the idiom? Your wishes are. Sorry. Hey, this one's on me, guys. Your wish is my command, not demand. Your wish is my command. I was blanking. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm a little like confused about, like how this even was made. So, but we'll see. August 4th. Shout out Hank Hill. I'll probably watch the eps. I think there's like three eps. Maybe all eps are streaming at once. I forget what it was, but we'll see on August 4th.